Hello and welcome to the AHP Profits webinar, February 27th, 2014. My name is Charles Scoville and I'm the owner of AHP Profits, and I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for tonight's webinar. My goal tonight is to help open your eyes to what advertising does for you and to help you determine a more effective strategy that can help you deliver a lot greater results to your campaigns. A lot of people have been asking, and I've been seeing this out in the forums, I've been seeing it out in Facebook groups, I've been seeing it more in more places. Does AHP Profits advertising really work? And I wanted to address that, especially as we've had a number of support tickets maybe saying, hey, this is fantastic, and some people saying, hey, I didn't get any sign-ups. What's the deal? Did I do something wrong? And so I really wanted to address that and help make sure that the most effective strategy can be found and employed with AHP Profits. Now, first of all, what I wanted to just point out really quickly is that there's been some real positive things being said. Here's easy hits for you, and I don't know if you can see this. The writing might be a little bit small, but this particular member of AHP Profits just left a review on another website saying that AHP Profits is a great opportunity and great traffic, and they have already earned more than $160 at AHP Profits. And that was posted February 26, 2014. So just yesterday, we've got somebody out there talking positively about AHP Profits, and I hope that each of you are doing that as well. So let's get back to the question at hand. What makes advertising effective? Advertising, if it really works, is going to give you exposure to your website. And that's one of the great things about AHP Profits. And you can see this for yourself on adhits.com. What you can see is that AHP Profits is one of the best buys in the industry. And when you click on this, what you're able to see is that within the last 24 hours, there's been 165,007 visitors to AHP Profits. So what this definitely is letting you know is that the banners that are on our website are getting real exposures from real visitors targeted for income opportunities. Now, what makes someone have better success or less success with their campaigns? And I'll be getting into that in just a moment. But what I really wanted to emphasize is when someone asks, does AHP Profits advertising work? The real answer for you is yes, because it's getting you visitors to your website. That's the real indication whether AHP Profits advertising services are working, is if you're getting visitors to your website and people are really taking a look at your offer. Now, it's going to be up to your website, it's going to be up to you to leave a lasting impression on your visitors. You want your visitors, when they're on your website, to remember you and to remember something that's on your website. And what I would definitely recommend is to remember what it's like for you when you're watching TV or maybe listening to the radio or whatever kind of commercials that you might come across, and really be honest with yourself. How many times do you watch something on TV while you're watching your favorite show and get right up off the couch and go straight to the store to buy it? I'd say it's pretty rare. I'd say it's very rare indeed. Chances are, people that are watching those commercials are going to remain in their couches, and when the commercial is over, they're going to watch the next commercial, and then they'll be back to their television show, and then they're going to finish their show, and they'll go on with their lives, and then they'll have repeated and continual exposure. And that's one of the things that I really want you to recognize when it comes to advertising, especially advertising anywhere like AHP Profits, is that what you want to do is focus on getting visitors and exposure and leave a lasting impression for your website visitors. Because what you want to do is increase something, is awareness of your brand, awareness of what you're offering, and help appeal to people so that when they're later saying, you know what, I'm looking for this kind of a solution to my problems. I've got this problem, I'm experiencing it, but I remember seeing an ad for this, a solution for this once. What was the name of that brand? And what you need to do is leave that lasting impression, because what will happen is if you've left an effective impression on somebody, then they're going to go to Google and they're going to search. And that's one of the things that I wanted to show you real quickly is about ad-hit profits, is when we first came online, people did some Google searches, but the more time that we're online and the more exposure that we have to our website, the more Google search traffic we get. In fact, right now we're up 10% versus what we had before. And then I just want you to recognize that, because if you've created your own brand online, then when people go to Google, they're going to go to you. They're going to go to your website. Now, if you're just promoting the company replicated website, when someone is thinking about the solutions that you're offering, they're going to say, wait, what was the name of that brand? Oh, it's that program opportunity. Okay, all right, and they'll either join under the company directly, or maybe one of the affiliates, maybe one of the top affiliates has their affiliate link as one of the first hits on Google. So that's what you really want to do, is maybe not even promote the opportunity, but specify what solutions that you're offering and give people an opportunity to sign up to get more information. That way you can follow up with them and maybe help position how your solution is really going to help match what their needs are. So that's one of the great things that I would suggest, is to create your own brand and create your own lead capture page. Now, there's been lead capture pages that people have, and they don't really have any branding. Maybe they've got some exotic photo of a beach and then a small little opt-in page in the middle, but you don't really see a name of a brand. So if someone says, you know what, I'm not really interested in what it's saying here, later, if they decide what was the name of that brand, no one really even knows. No one knows. So what's a great way to brand yourself? This is just a random website that I selected when I just typed in branding, just to help reiterate this. And what this says right here is about.com. This gives a brand of this website, so that if you decide later to Google search about.com, you can find it. And what you want to do is make sure that you have placed your website address somewhere easily to be found on your website, so that when people are coming across it, maybe hundreds or thousands of times in a single day, that the more people that see that and see your offer and recognize what kind of solutions that you're trying to provide people for their problems, then later on, when they're hungering for a solution for that kind of a problem, they will remember your web address. And so some people use their name. I think that a name might be a little bit more difficult to remember. Maybe something a little bit more standoutish, something that can help attract people. And your offer needs to be something that's going to help people recognize that you're going to help them do something faster, easier, and less pain than what they're currently experiencing. And that's one of the things that with ad-hit profits, I think that's one of the reasons why the done-for-you traffic has become such a success, is because it's giving people faster traffic at less pricing than what they're experiencing through various different traffic exchanges and safe lists out in the industry. And because they're getting such great exposure and high exposure to their opt-in pages and their websites, they're seeing greater results as well. Now, the thing that I really want to really stress upon once again is branding, because like I said before, you want your traffic to come from Google. Why Google? That's because it's organic traffic. Organic means that these are people who are searching for what you have. Conversions are a lot higher when people are searching after what you have. That's the important thing. So if you have stood out in someone's mind, left them an impression because of the exposure that you have, and you have it continual over time, not just once, not just 500 visitors to your website just to test a traffic campaign, but continual mass exposure to your website daily, you'll start to recognize that your website is going to start to have more people going to Google and searching for you. That's really what you want. You want people to go to Google and search for you. And if you haven't stood out and left an impression on someone's mind And if you haven't created a brand for yourself that people can remember so that later on they can Google search later, then what you're really doing is wasting a lot of advertising dollars. And I see that time and time again, especially as people say, you know what, I just spent $5 on a campaign and I didn't get one single sign up. And the impossible thing to do is help people recognize sometimes that it's not just about the signups that they're getting, but it's the exposure. And it's getting their brand out there. And it's helping raise awareness to what they're doing. And the more that that awareness is brought to the industry on a wider scale than 500 visitors and continually, that's when great success starts to grow, because marketing is like planting seeds. And if you plant a seed today, you're not going to see a tree tomorrow. You got to keep watering it. You got to keep nourishing it every single day. And that's what marketing is. So if you're involved within this industry and you've been struggling to really earn the kind of income that you want to be making, the real solution for you is to set up a daily routine and continuously grow your campaigns utilizing more and more advertising resources, more and more websites, and branching out and growing these seeds up. As they start to sprout, you start to see, oh wow, I have 100 opt-ins to my list today. And before you know it, you're like, oh my gosh, I've had 1,000 sign-ups. And now you're working overtime, and you might have to start to say, wow, I got to pause some of my campaigns because I'm working too hard. And we've had some of our members do that as they have continually advertised on AHP Profits. One of our advertisers actually messaged me and said, wow, I had to pause my campaign. I was working way too much. And it's true. And so if you haven't experienced that, it's simply because you haven't advertised enough to get your brand and that exposure out there, to leave that imprint so that people start to recognize you, know you, trust you, and start to follow you. So that's my tips and hints for you, and hopefully that you've been able to catch the vision of how advertising works. And what AHP Profits can truly do for you is send you a rush of traffic, a large volume of visitors. Even with the banners that are on our website, I think that one of the things that I really enjoy about our banners is I've used banner services throughout the industry before AHP Profits. I might have spent, $20, $25 or something like that on a banner on a traffic exchange, and assigned all of those credits to maybe 3 different banners, and then found that each banner only got 2 clicks, and all of the money that I spend is all used up. But the great thing about AHP Profits is that you're spending money only for the clicks that you get, and you're going to get a lot more clicks on AHP Profits than you generally will on any traffic exchange. So just keep that in mind as you are positioning the services on AHP Profits as a solution to people's problems, is that people will be spending less money for the clicks that they're getting. And the results that people are reporting are a lot higher than what they're getting on other resources. So it's a cost savings, and it's heightening results. So that's my presentation for this evening. What I want to do now is open up and find out what questions that we have, and then we'll go ahead and close the call after that. All right, just opening up the questions here, and it's saying, all right, so the first question is, thank you, so you're welcome, DT. The next question says, when is the next webinar? We hold webinars once a week, and that's on Thursday, same time, same channel. So you can keep that link and come in every single week. The next question says, do you have webinars in Portuguese? The answer to that is no, but I do know that there's some of our Portuguese members who have set up their own webinars in the past. I don't know if they currently are doing any webinars, but I really am grateful for anyone who's been involved with AHP Profits who speaks Portuguese, who wants to have their own webinars in Portuguese. I do not speak Portuguese. The next question is, Charles, is it better to spread done-for-you traffic campaigns during the day, different times, or doesn't that matter? Done-for-you traffic comes from a number of different advertising resources all throughout the industry. And I don't know if a certain point of or time of day is going to really make a difference for you, but it's good to probably test that out for yourself and find out what's going to work best for you. But when it comes to exposure, I think the more exposure, 24 hours, 7 days a week, that you have is going to be the best for you. At least that's been the best for me, and it's been the best for the things, in my history of marketing online. I try to market pretty much every single day throughout the week. Usually on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I tend to pull back and not promote as much, because a lot of times on the weekends, I usually see that even if I'm promoting super hard, my results have dropped even on the weekends, because a lot of people aren't really focused on that. But Monday through Friday, people are generally more engaged and more thinking about how they can make more money or finding solutions to their businesses than they are generally on the weekends. But the weekends can definitely generate some results as well. The next question is, when is our year anniversary? We launched April 8th, 2013. So we're coming up on our 11-month anniversary in March, and then April 8th will be our full year. So this is real exciting. We're starting to see that some of the, I don't know if you've been on our previous webinars, but we were talking about the startup curve. And so I'll just show that to you really quickly here. And if you want, you can Google this as well. And it's the startup curve. It's a well-known thing that's not just with our industry, but it's with any startup company, any startup business. What happens is at the very first of the business, it spikes up, and then it drops off and almost dies out. But then as time progresses forward, people start to recognize what it is that you really have and start to see how it can really benefit them. And as that happens more and more, then the use of the services increases. And so that's we're starting to see that happen with AHP Profits as we've released some improvements. We're starting to enter this wiggles of false hope category, I think. We've had a little bit of rises and then drops back down and rises. So it's real exciting times as we're starting to enter into a new stage and a new phase of our business. So definitely get the word out about our services, whether that's the new done-for-you traffic or any of our traffic services. They really are working to bring great amounts of exposure to people's websites and advertisements. All right, so the next question is, how about if I want to advertise my multi-level marketing affiliate link? You can certainly do that, but as I've been talking about it on this call, this webinar tonight, DT, is that it's going to work a whole lot better for you to create your own brand and a lead capture page. I mean, if you think about it, how many 6, 7-figure income earners do you see promoting just their company replicated website? Generally, if you're looking at those large income earners, they're promoting a website saying, hey, we're working this hard and blah, blah. They're talking about the great advantages of getting involved with their team, or maybe they're talking about some kind of solution or a boot camp or something that they were wanting to offer you for free to sign up to their list. And once when you get involved, they're working with you and getting to know you and finding out what problems that you're having and offering you solutions. And as you utilize those solutions that they're giving you, then you start to say, well, what else do you have that can benefit me? And that's when they say, well, I'm involved in this multi-level marketing opportunity. If you'd like, you can get involved. This is the product, this is the service, this is the compensation plan. And you know what? If you get in now, I'll place you right under so-and-so. They're a hard worker. And you start to feel very encouraged. So if you want to really exceed in multi-level marketing, just promoting a multi-level marketing affiliate link, all that they see is the company. And a lot of people, they want to join with you. They just don't know who you are. So the more that you help people see and recognize who you are as a person and how you can help them and how you can differentiate your leadership and your offer versus other people that are promoting your same multi-level marketing opportunity, the more success and the more results that you're going to have. And that's the major thing to really focus on, is differentiation. Because if you don't differentiate yourself, then you're going to really struggle in this industry. All right, the next question is, I have a brand name and am an affiliate of 5 different programs, mainly multi-level marketing. Should I create a web page that refers viewers from AHP Profits to the website, or should I send them to the various landing pages, sales pages for the 5 different programs? My personal recommendation would be to create your own brand, and I don't know, and it sounds like you've done that already, so you've got your own name, you've got your own brand, and so that people can Google and find you. What you want to do then is, just like what I was mentioning just a minute ago, is as people are signing up to your list, get to know them. And if you've got a list and an autoresponder, you can kind of start to send out these emails and getting to know people automatically without a lot of hands-on, especially if you start getting hundreds or thousands of signups to your list maybe in a day or a week or a month. It kind of helps take that edge away. And then you can kind of work with the people that respond back to you, because that's going to be a smaller percentage. But what you want to do is find out what they need. And you say you've got 5 different affiliate programs that you're involved in. You can kind of customize the solutions utilizing your repertoire. Especially with a lot of times within any kind of opportunity. I know from my experience being in multi-level marketing, my downlines would generally ask me, hey, where can I go to advertise? That's when you could even say, hey, you know what's working real well for me to get a lot of traffic? There's AHP Profits, there's Got Safe List, there's Lead Magnet, and you start to give them the advertising resources that you're using to help them build their downline, which ultimately is actually building yours as well, because they're under you in multi-level marketing. So it helps benefit you, it helps benefit them, and they learn to trust you and recognize that you really are there to help. So the more that you position what it is that you have available as a solution, as you find out what problems that they're facing, that helps you close more sales and be recognized more as someone who's really trying to genuinely help somebody else versus just try to collect some fast commissions. All right, the next question is, hi Charles, what banner size is an ad hit profits drive more traffic? You know, because the 468 by 60 banners are being viewed a lot more than any of the other banners, that is probably going to be one option that's going to give you the greatest amount of traffic from the banners. Also probably the 728 by 90, because there's fewer banners in rotation. But any of the banner services that we have on our website have been found to generate a fair amount of traffic. There's one of the things that I've noticed about the 125 by 125 is that people are generally more picky on clicking on those. So if you've got a banner that doesn't really help people see what it is that you're offering or what solutions that you might be offering, those banners are clicked on a little bit less frequently, and less people can really see what those banners or what they're going to be able to benefit when they click on it. All right, the next question is, should we use a blog or a web page? Either way. In my history, I've used a blog before, and then I kind of developed a web page and then moved away from the blog. But that was just my personal thing. I would probably do a combination, because the more that you use, the more search engine optimization that you have, and the more that people might guess wrong what your brand was, the more likely they're going to be able to find you either through your blog or through your website. All right, what other questions do we have on the call tonight? And you're very welcome, DT, for the help, for the answers. You're very welcome, Andrew. All right, it looks like we pretty much reached the end of the questions. I just want to thank you all for being part of AHP Profits. To me, AHP Profits is such a passion for me because of the solutions that it does provide and the amount of exposure that it's giving to our members. And so I definitely want to invite each of you to take a look around and look at what we offer in the mindset of solutions that it can offer people. And as you're growing your list and growing your downlines and your income opportunities, or maybe you're out there promoting whatever it is that you're promoting already, as people are saying to you, you know, this is a problem that I'm having, keep in mind AHP Profits as a resource to recommend to people that are struggling with getting targeted website traffic. And the more that you do that, the more commissions you're going to earn from AHP Profits. And I believe the more successful you'll be as a sponsor because of the amount of exposure and the traffic and the success rate of our advertisers on AdHit Profits. People are a lot more happy using our services, I've found, than what they've been using in many other places. So definitely keep that in mind. Thanks again for being a part of AdHit Profits, being on the call tonight, and for taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope that something that I've said tonight has helped benefit you in some way, and that you can apply this into your strategy, and that you can experience greater results. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, morning, or afternoon.